Okay, welcome everyone to our Sunday Dhamma study. Today is Sunday, the 10th of March 2024, and it's the 7 weeks of our journey. That means we have 8 weeks to go together. I'm glad to be able to make it with everyone's week by week because each week there's always something coming up. So we have to plan very carefully and we want to make sure that the class can go smoothly. So far, it has been going very well in the past 7 weeks. Today, again, Dhamma Group 4, lecture number 7, Sunday, 10 March 2024. We have 1 hour and 30 minutes to see if we can finish another 3 groups of Dhamma that I prepared today. But before we start, let's recap what we learned. Last week, we learned 3 groups of the Dhamma group 4, right? We talked about the Appamada Dhamma, which translate to peacefulness. There are 2 things, right? Things should be giving up and things should be cultivated. Give up unwholesome bodily, verbal action and mental action, and also give up the wrong will. And cultivation, of course, opposite, right? Cultivate the wholesome bodily action, verbal action, and mental action, and cultivate the right will. We also did talk about the padana. Today we may come across the idea of padana again. And please keep in mind that how can you connect what you learned from the first week. Sati, Sampachanya, Hiri, Ottappa, Khanti, Soraja. Everything that we learn, okay, from the first week up until this moment, until today, you should find way to, or perhaps seeing how they connected to each others. And that help you to study Dhamma more fun and more enjoyable if you can connect them together. So we learn about padana, right? Some padana is an effort, right? An effort to what? Samvara padana, pahana padana, bhavana padana, and anurakkana padana. Just get yourself familiar with the Pali terms. It will benefit you if you really serious about study the teaching of the Buddha, because all of his teaching are kept in the Pali language. Even though you can read English or you can read Thai, it also beneficial if you can understand Pali terms as well. Padana, Samvara Padana, to prevent, right, the evil from arising. Pahana Padana, to abandon the arising evil, something that bad thing that we already have. The Bhavana, to develop. Bhavana means develop what wholesome qualities. And Anurak means to maintain, to secure, to sustain the wholesome quality that one already cultivated. And that's the Padana. And then we talk about Adhiṭhana Dhamma. There are 4 things that we should establish in the mind. All of these Dhamma support us to live good life and lead us to live a successful life. The Panya or wisdom, that's the first one, to know what should be known. Satya or the truthfulness, to doing whatever one does with sincerity. Do what you say what you do. The Jaka, relinquishment. In this case, Jaka refer to let go, renounce what is the enemy of the mind, what caused the mind unstable or unpeaceful. Then we work on that. And then Upasama, or the tranquilities, calming the mind away from the things which are enemy to the calmness of the mind. All right? Okay, to see if we can still remember some of this in the quiz. The first question today: if a man try to quit smoking, that means he has been addicted to smoke or cigarette. Which padana or effort is he practicing? If all of a sudden he want to quit, what kind of effort he should practice? Easy, right? The answer is C, right? To quit smoking, that means to abandon the arising evil, the bad thing or bad habit that he already has in himself. So he try to quit. That means he develop pahana. Pahana means kill or destroy. Second question: which one is not the member of Adhiṭhana Dhamma? Adhiṭhana Dhamma, we just learned there are 4 things, right? But which one is not the member of Adhiṭhana Dhamma? All right, this is very clear, right? Adhiṭhana Dhamma. When you memorize the Dhamma, the teaching of the Buddha, you should memorize them by order. Don't just randomly memorizing them. Adhiṭhana Dhamma composed of 4 things. Start from the Panya, right? Second, when you have Panya, then you have Satya. The third is Jaka, and the 4th is Upasama, and which leave us the last option, which is choice number E, is incorrect. So the last one, which sentence is correct? Correct, not incorrect. Okay, which one is correct? We talk about apamada or heedfulness. Which sentence is correct? Seems everyone got it correctly. Apamada translate to heedfulness, right? And the yoniso manasikara or skillful reflection, they are internal factors strengthening the practice of heedfulness. Sounds correct, right? Let's check the second one. The apamada or heedfulness is the path to death. This is incorrect. Should be deathless. Apamada refer to vigilance, earnest. This one okay. This one not okay. Should be heedfulness. The apamada is a member of wisdom in the threefold training. That means you must know what composed in the threefold training, or what the threefold training composed of, right? It's because it has what? Wisdom, the sila, samadhi, and panya. So the apamada fall into the samadhi, not the wisdom. But the yoniso manasikan fall into the wisdom. Okay, factor in the trisikha or the threefold training. Okay, everyone is doing very well. Okay, for today, we will be covering another three groups, three set of the Dhamma group 4. The first, we will be talking about Iddhipada. Iddhipada, the 4 parts of accomplishment, or the factor that lead us to be successful. And these two, I think it's maybe coming to the right timing. We have come to the 7th week of the study, and I have seen less number of students, maybe because of the work, maybe because of a lot of things in hand. Okay, so, and if you study Iddhipada, maybe it get you motivated to continue until the last week, until you finish the final exam, and perhaps hopefully you sign up for the intermediate level and all the way through the advanced level. So Iddhipada is the tool that help us to get there. Second, the 4 sentiments, or the Brahmavihara. Okay, sound familiar. So I think all of this you guys already came across some of this Dhamma already. Okay, and the last one, the 4 protective meditation, or Arakkhakammatthana. Okay, Arakkhakammatthana. We will be discussing about these 3 groups of Dhamma for this afternoon. All right, start from the first one. If you hear this term Iddhipada, Brahmavihara, if you're not familiar with Arakha, you may familiar with the word Kammathana, right? So what's come to your mind first time you heard these terms? Iddhipada, Brahmavihara. Some of you may think of, loving kindness, right? When you hear the word Brahmavihara. When you hear the word Kammathana, you may think of, the meditation object, samatha, vipassana. There must be something that you can relate it to each Dhamma term or vocabulary that we come across in Pali. And that's how you play with yourself when it's come to try to understand the Pali terms. There must be some information about this term that you have in the back of your head somewhere. Okay, start from the first one. Is called Iddhipada. In Thai we call Iddhipada. Iddhi means success. Pada means path or way that lead to success. There are 4 things which we will get to those factors in a moment. But in this particular sutra, Apara Sutra, the Buddha did mention about the idea of Iddhipada. He used a very simple simile. He said, bhikkhus again mean monks. When these 4 bases of spiritual power, okay, this is another term used when it's come to the Iddhipada. This translator used the word spiritual power. When they are developed and cultivated, they lead to going from near shore to the far shore, from point A to point B. So we are as a traveler, right? We go somewhere in life. We go to school, we go to work, we do something. We want to be success. We don't want to stay at the same place. So we strive to be success. And this is the truth that Dhamma students need to understand, and if you put into practice correctly, you will be on your way to be success. That's the idea of Iddhipada. Okay, what are those four? The first one is called Chanda. Second one is called Viriya. The third one is called Chitta. And the fourth is called Vimamsa or Vimamsa. Vimamsa. Okay, I will send these 5 to the live group, okay, at the end of the session. Okay, if you want to keep this as your record. So what is Chanda? Chanda usually refer to joy, right? Satisfaction. You're happy to do. You must be happy to do what you're about to do. You must feel joyful. Okay, in the thing concerned, that's how the handbooks use. That's how the handbook describe the word chanda. Viriya is delight, effort. Okay, the word viriya itself, it means effort in doing the thing concerned. Okay, you hear the word viriya, you hear the word effort. Last week we learned the padana. Padana also mean effort. Are they the same? How do they related? That's how you should play with your mind. The viriya is like effort or persevere to do the thing that you're about to do, right? Or to do the thing that you plan to do. And the chitta is attending wholeheartedly to the thing concerned without letting go of it. Okay, that's the language used in the handbooks. I'll explain a little bit more in a moment. And vimamsa, delightly thinking around and investigating the reason in the things concerned. Sounds simple, right? They are valuable tools which enable one to reach the goal. This can be used in the worldly life or in the spiritual life when it's come to meditation practice, when it's come to study at school, when it's come to work in your office, you apply the same Dhamma, which is Iddhipada, because again it means what? Iddhi means success, right? Pada means ways, the way or the path that lead us to be success in whatever we set mind, set the goal to do it. If we put into picture, this is how it look like. Iddhipada composed of 4 factors. The first one is called Chanda. Second one is called Viriya. The third one is called Chitta. And number 4 is called Vimamsa. The starting point of success of whatever task at hand or task that you plan to do or you want to do in the future. So you must love what you do. You must love what you're about to do. If you don't love it, you start from like it. If you don't like it at the beginning, it's gonna be difficult for you to success in that job, right? You get up in the morning and you don't like your job. You do it because someone else forced you to do. You do it because it's your responsibility to make money and to support the family. So you don't really like it. It's gonna be hard for you to be happy in that job, and it's gonna be almost impossible for you to be success in that job or the work that you do. So your starting point is you must love in what you do. The question is, how can you love the thing that you're about to do? What would be the reason for us to love this job, to love meditation, to love observing precept? There must be a reason. But you not all of a sudden love this work, this job, this Dhamma that you're about to practice, right? So you must see the benefit or the value of the thing that you're about to do, of the work that you do. Love of Chanta come into dimension. The first one you love, of course. The second one, you do your best. Do your best. You don't just love. Many people love their job, but they don't do their best in their job. If you just love the job, but you don't do your best, how can you become successful? Probably not, right? And when it's come to do the thing or action in your work, if you are familiar with the Noble Eightfold Path, this one refer to right action, Samma Kammanta. Many people have the right livelihood, good career. You become a doctor, become a teacher, your career is good. But you don't have the right action in your job. You never prepare for the class. You always late for the class. You don't grade the student on time. You are a bad teacher. So you may have a right livelihood, good business that you are in but you don't have the right action in your work you cannot be success you cannot be happy so chanta has two dimensions you must love it and you must do your best in the thing that you love to do and how do you build the idea of I'm going to love what I about to do right you must see the benefit of the work that you do if you were a doctor you go to work to treat your patient if you see the benefit that hey today I'm gonna help people free to be free from their suffering their pain their disease that they come to me every single I will treat every single patient carefully examine them thoroughly that doctor would take his time right to ask question to check after check before he give the prescription the treatment to that patient sometimes when I visit the doctor I only have 5 minutes with him. He give me 5 minutes, just ask a few questions and give me the medicine, then go home. And then another patient, same thing, 5 minutes maximum. Because too many patients in the line, doctor need to do it fast. So he may take his job lightly. Oh, you headache, you take paracetamol. Oh, you have a diarrhea, you take this pill, without asking a deeper question to really find out what is wrong with the patient. So if you were a doctor, you should treat your patient, right? Do your best to treat your patient. Make sure that you know what went wrong in his body or her body, and then prescribe the medicine so they can be healed. They can be treated in the proper way. That's the idea. If you don't love what you do, if you don't see the benefit of you being a doctor, you just go to work to make money. The more patient I have, the more money I make. 5 minutes maximum, then next patient, 5 minutes, then next patient. So one day the doctor may be able to meet more than 50 or 60 patients. So he make a lot of money, but he did not do his best to treat each one of his patients. And then after you love what you do, you set goal to do the best in the job that you're about to do. Then as you do it, you will come across problem and challenges. Problem happen. You go to work, things doesn't always go as planned. You expect more customer, today customer don't show up. You expect more patient, today you have less patient. Always something's gonna go wrong. Your job is to be brave. Viriya mean brave. To deal with challenges, to fight with it, with a joyful mind. You enjoy doing it. You figure it out. You have to be ready for the patient that something that it doesn't go according to the plan, right? So you basically you become a fighter. You don't give up easily. That's the idea of viriya. You're just gonna keep doing it. I'm gonna give you an example in a moment. And the third one, after you love what you do, you try to do your best, you're ready for the problem and challenges, you are brave, then you set your mind to it fully. That means it's called citta. You focus on what you do. And what is citta refer to? What is focus refer to? Focus is concentration, which is again samadhi. One of the meaning of samadhi is concentration, and samadhi is one of the important factor in the threefold training: sila, samadhi, and panya. So to me, citta play an important role in the Iddhipada. If you don't have concentration, you cannot enjoy what you do. Your mind's gonna be, here and there all the time. See, if you love to do something, you don't want to think of anything else in the world. That means you focus on that thing 100% because you love it. And as the problems show up, challenges show up, then you focus to deal with those challenges without let your mind wander to something else. So that means you need to develop samadhi, you need to practice meditation. And number 4 is called vimangsa. Vimangsa mean test, mean investigate, mean examine. You keep on testing, you keep on examining, you keep on investigating the thing that you do, whether you do it correctly, properly or not. Why don't you get a better result than this? Or why don't you get the maximum benefit of the thing that you do? Comparing to your friends, comparing to your competitor. Don't just love what you do your best, brave to deal with the problem and focus, but never reflect what went wrong and what went well. If you do this, all of this together, okay, you have a wisely investigating mind or investigating of what you do, all of this together, then again, it's called Iddhipada. It's the way, it's the means that lead you to be success. For example, if you come to meditation, you don't know what meditation is. People say meditation is good. Let's go learn meditation from the monk, from that teacher, this teacher. Anapanasati, meditation with the breath, walking meditation, object, mantra, whatever it is. You go learn and you know that it's good. You love it. You want to try and you want to do your best. You have shanta already. You have shanta. Sometimes we can think of shanta as faith. You like it. It's good for me. It benefit me. You believe meditation is good and you love to learn meditation. Then you go learn as you learn from your teacher. You know the technique, or you have to breathe like this. You have to pause. You have to do this, to do that. Step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And as you come back home and practice, you maybe you forget something. Maybe you have doubt. You don't get the result as your teacher mentioned. You get bored. You want to, after 5 minutes, you want to go watch movie, to check your email, this and that. You need to be brave, right? When that thing show up, how can you enjoy doing it? If you said go to sit 15 minutes, then you sit 15 minutes no matter what happened, okay, peacefully, relaxingly. And as you sit, you stay focused. When you stay focused, you will be able to observe what come to your mind, what kind of feeling that arise when I breathe in, how do I feel when I breathe out. This means you have citta. That means you focus, you concentrate of that meditation object that you are practicing. And as you sit 15 minutes, then you pause and reflect. Hey, what happened in the first 5 minutes? What happened after 15 minutes? What went wrong and what went well? What should I do next time when I come back to sit for another 15 minutes? And that's called vimangsa. Okay, so you apply 1, 2, 3, 4 into your meditation practice. If you keep doing this, you will definitely on your way to be success in your meditation practice. Whatever it is, in the meditation world, in the business world, in the study world, right? If you are a student, you must develop your attitude or the mind to like. Start from like first, the subject that you're about to learn. You may not love mathematics, but it's a prerequisite. Otherwise, you cannot go further to the next class. So you have to build that attitude to start see the benefit. Why I should learn mathematics or physics, something that's difficult, and I don't really, expert on that. I don't really enjoy the calculation. It's not my style. But you have to learn it. So you have to develop shanta. Start to like it, see the benefit of doing it. Maybe it benefit me, maybe it prepare me for something else in the future, right? And then you enjoy doing it. You brave to do the more tests, do more homework to get you familiar with those subjects. And with focused mind, you said go to sit 1 hour to study, then you sit 1 hour to study, no matter how hard it is. And vimangsa as well, you just reflect back and forth. And this is happening to me at the moment as I start to learn the Pali. Pali is ancient language. It's super difficult. It's a lot of things to be memorized. I have been giving up, many times in the past, 5 years, 6 years in the past. And I just keep coming back to it because I neglect the power of Iddhipada. Okay, so today we will really learn what we have learned together about the idea of Iddhipada, and then we will put into practice together. Whatever we want to do in life, and something maybe we put them on hold, maybe it's time for us to check why we put them on hold, why we don't want to make progress. What are we afraid of? What's holding us back? By applying the Iddhipada Dhamma. Just something on the sideline, because last week we learned the idea of Padana, and we also touched on the concept of right effort or Samma Vayama. This is what the Haigo asked last week, the meaning of Padana and the right effort in the Noble Eightfold Path, right? And Padana, Vayama, Samma Vayama. And today we learn again another term, which is called Viriya. So Viriya, Vayama, and Padana, they mean the same thing. They mean the same thing. They mean effort. They mean energy. They mean persevere. This one, 1, 2, 3. Viriya mean brave, right? Brave to do good, brave to refuse to do bad. Like I said, if someone or your friend, your boss hand you the glass of alcohol, do you think that you would be brave enough to say no to alcohol, to drug, to cigarette? That's called viriya. These are the quality of the Dhamma that help us to maintain integrity when it's come to observing precept, when it's come to meditation, when it's come to uh, perseverance to do something that consider wholesome. You will come across this term. They will use this term interchangeably in each particular sutra that you will be learning in the future. Okay, so that Iddhipada, nothing complicated. Everyone should be okay, right? Any questions so far about the first Dhamma, Iddhipada? Okay, or you can ask me at the end. All right, so we move on to the second one. It's called the Brahmavihara. I believe most of the Buddhist Buddhist study student would familiar with the term Brahmavihara. We familiar with the term Metta, right, or loving kindness, Karuna, compassion, right? Mudita or sympathetic joy or upekha or equanimity. We're familiar with this term. Today, let's get to know them, officially getting to know them through this lecture. The Brahmavihara, the Brahma, there are two terms, Vihara. Brahma means the Brahma, B-R-A. You know what Brahma means? Vihara means dwell. You dwell in the Brahma. The Brahma, they are the heavenly beings, right? These people, they meditate very well, and they meditate on these four things. That's why sometimes we call them the Brahma Vihara, or the Dhamma, or the virtue of those people who suppose or deserve to be called Brahmins or Brahma. There are four things on the list. But before we get to that, these are the terms that you may come across when it's come to the idea of Brahma Vihara, the divine abode. What does it mean by divine abode? The four immeasurable, the four limitless, the unbound state of mind, the four noble sentiments. Okay, I don't know which one that you more familiar. Let me explain what I found in the text first. The divine abode, that's something got my attention too when I studied the Buddhist text at the beginning of my study journey. I came across this sutra long time ago, and yesterday I went back just to capture this paragraph for you. The Dona Brahma Sutra. The Buddha gave the Dhamma talk to the Brahma named the Dona Brahma. This is what it appears in the text. Then they meditate, spreading heart. You think of the ice that radiate the coolness around the ice itself, and whoever stand next to that ice, that being or that people, that persons will get or receive the same coolness that radiates from the ice indiscriminately. The heart full of love to one direction, and to second, and to the third, the fourth. There are four directions, right? In the same way, the above, below, across, everywhere, around, they spread the heart full of love, whole world abundant, expansive, limitless, free from enmity and ill will. And the second thing, they meditate, okay, in the same token, with the spreading of love, they're spreading compassion, they're spreading rejoicing, and they're spreading equanimity, right? This is metta, this is karuna, this is mudita, and this is upekha in the same approach. One direction, second direction, third direction, okay, and so forth. And at the end, the Buddha said, this one, having developed these four divine meditation, when the body break up, that means when that person die, after death, they reborn in a good place, a divine realms of Brahma. There is a realm of Brahma, and people who reborn after they die, they born in that realm, the realm of Brahma. They have this unique characteristic with the love, with the compassion, with the rejoicing, with equanimity to all being indiscriminately. That's the idea. And then when that person die, after they practice, because this is one of the meditation object too, that appears in the Visuddhimagga. They use the Brahma Vihara as a meditation object. They meditate on love, wish everyone well. They meditation on compassion, with everyone to be free from suffering, They meditate on the mudita, right? To rejoice in someone fortune, someone goodness, when people success in their life, wholeheartedly rejoicing with them. And they also meditate on upekha, when things go wrong, they just maintain the calmness of the mind. And this is the meditation object that from time to time I also come back to this meditation object myself as well. I see the benefit of the metta meditation. And when we talk about love, this is the four Brahmavihara. First, it's called metta. It's another Pali term. Second, called karuna. And the third, called mudita. And number four is called upekha. I believe everyone familiar with metta. What is metta? You answer in your mind, what is metta? And second, what is karuna? Okay, metta, loving kindness. What is loving kindness? And the second question is, what is karuna, or what is compassion? And the third question is, how do they difference? Are they the same or are they different? What's the difference between metta and karuna? Today, let's clarify this. Make sure everyone know the difference. Then you can put into practice correctly, right? Otherwise, you get confused. It seems to be a simple Dhamma. Everyone's hear about this on the daily basis. People talk about metta, people talk about karuna. Sometimes or somehow many people still practice this Dhamma incorrectly. So by this definition, loving kindness means the love for others, desiring or wishing them that they may be happy. I wishing you well, right? When you meditate, you share loving kindness. Oh, I wish you well. I wish you success. I wish you good life. You wishing them to be happy. Karuna, compassion, thinking of helping others to free from dukkha or suffering or the problem that they have. We will learn again in the example that I will give in a moment. And mudita, sympathetic joy or appreciative joy, to be glad in sympathy when fortune or good things come to others, to people that you know. Fully joyful. And the third one, upekha, this one a little bit difficult to understand. Equanimity, what is equanimity, right? We need to translate equanimity again. Okay, to be neutral. Upekha, you can think of being neutral and unmoved. Okay, not being glad or sorry when others meet with adversities. Okay, this is by definition that appears in our handbooks of the Nakdhamma elementary level. Okay, so now I'm gonna explain a little bit more about the idea of Brahmavihara. Okay, the question I asked you earlier, what is metta? You think loving kindness. What is compassion or karuna? Are they the same or are they different? What makes them different? The idea of metta comes from this. In one teaching, the Buddha said there is no love. In one teaching, the Buddha talk about love. There is no love surpasses the love of oneself. As an individual, human being, animal, we love ourselves the most. But there are two kinds of love in the eyes of the noble people. The first kind of love, the love that drives by lust. You think of a man love a woman. Oh, she is beautiful. Oh, he's handsome. Then I like her. I like him. This is the first kind of love that drives by lust. If a person not mindful, they usually end up suffering. Some places there is a drive-through marriage. You can just drive and get married. Just like you buy burger, drive through and get what you want and drive away. People fell in love, cannot wait. Let's go get married. Drive to that box office. They give you a certificate. You become a husband. You become a wife. And guess what? 6 months later, they will drive to the same box and I want to divorce. Because that kind of love is drive by lust. Okay, they don't think it through. It's not by wisdom. But the second kind of love we call metta or loving kindness. This kind of love is different. You think of the love of parents, the love that you have to your brother, sister, your relatives. They are different. The same word, which is love, but they drive by different factor, drive by lust and drive by metta. And the result also different, right? Nothing can change the love of the mother for her child. Whether the son When he grow up, he become a good person or a bad person. Mothers always have the same love. That's the idea, right? If the love that drive by lust, if the person getting old, or if the person behave something that you don't like, so you may change your mind. So I don't love this person no more. So go find someone else because you get bored. Father, mother never get bored of loving us, of loving their own child. That's the difference. So the four Brahmavihara, if we put in the picture, metta or loving kindness is wishing well for all beings, wishing them well. The love that comes from your heart, just like the eye radiate the coolness around itself. It doesn't care who sit around, the eyes itself. Good people, bad people, the police or the thief, they get the same coolness from the eyes. That's the idea of loving kindness or metta. And the karuna, the compassion. Compassion means what? The trembling or the shaking, the move of the heart in doing something when you see someone you love in problem or suffering. Don't just sit there. Or someone you may not know them. There are three kind of people, right? People that we have the fond feeling with, someone in the family, people in the relative circle, people that we may not know them, we feel neutral. Whatever happened to them, not much affect us. And people that we don't like them, people that we're having problem with them. If something bad happened to them, we sometimes feel good about it. This is ignorant being. This is how we see the world. And that is why in the early session, we talk about akati 4, right? Akati 4. If someone we love, we want to help. Someone we hate, we don't want to help. If you're the boss, you would promote someone you love, not someone you don't like. Even though someone you don't like, he may do a better performance than the someone that you like. You still promote the one that you like anyway because you have akati, you have the wrong will toward the person that drive by your ignorance, drive by your delusion. So in this case, you see the difference. Metta is the love, right? The love that you have, that you want to share all beings equally, indiscriminately. Someone you like, someone you don't like, someone you feel neutral, you share with them all equally. And to me, metta is maybe one of the most difficult things to practice. It's easy to give love to someone we love. It's not easy to forgive or give love to someone that we don't like. But the Buddha mind, the Buddha himself, he said, whether my son Rahula or Tevatatta, the monk who tried to kill me, my love toward both of them are equal. My love toward both of them is equal. I love them equally. That's the heart of the Buddha. For us, can we do that? Can you do it? Can you forgive a man who hurt your feeling, a woman who hurt your feeling? Can you share the loving kindness to them? And I have so many examples in the past, when it's come to loving kindness. In one session, I give a talk of the metta, loving kindness, about 45-minute lecture. At the end of the lecture, one of the person come to me, one of the students, and the student said, I appreciate your lecture. I like it, beneficial, definitely. But I just cannot forgive a man who hurt my feeling. And I will not forgive for the rest of my life. So what the benefit of you learning Brahmavihara if you cannot put them into practice? You're going to die in that resentment feeling because you cannot forgive. So metta is not easy to practice, especially towards someone that we have a conflict with, someone we have a problem with. So please keep in mind. And karuna, compassion, trembling, I like this word. Your mind is shaking when you see someone suffering. You have to do something. You feel like, I want to do something to relieve that pain from that person or that group of people. So karuna is about taking action. You see, you understand much clearer when I give example in a moment. And mudita, right, is opening heart in response to other happiness. This is what we need in today's societies. We have jealousy minds everywhere we go. We want to be number one. We want to be better. If your friends get promoted, do you really joyfully rejoice in their success? Or you feel like, why him? Why not me? We graduate from the same school, have the same work experience. Why you get promoted? Not me. Behind your smiling face, that's what you think. It should be me. That's called jealousy mind. So appreciative joy or sympathetic joy is the quality that of the Brahmavihara that you should seriously bring it out. When you say I am happy for you, that means you really happy for you. Rejoice in your merit. And upekha, this one a little bit difficult to understand. Okay, let's see this definition first. The factor that keeps one's mind clear and wholesome. Upekha is unique. Dhamma, it has a unique characteristic, which I will show you in a moment. Just hang in there. Now let's get to see the eminent enemy of the Brahmavihara. The Buddha did not just give this talk or the Dhamma talk for no reason, right? There always a deeper dimension behind each Dhamma that the Buddha gave to each individual. The eminent enemy of the four Brahmavihara. The Buddha understands the human mind from inside out. We born ignorant. We are violent creature. If we don't like, we fight, we destroy. Metta or loving kindness is the enemy of metta is hostilities or ill will. This one, hostility or ill will. If you see something you don't like, someone says something bad, you would say something bad, right? Someone hurt you, you want to hurt them back, and that's the idea of hostility or ill will. But if you are a person who have a kind heart, loving kindness, you wouldn't be doing this. You wouldn't even think of harming anybody. You just cannot do it. If you are a Dhamma student, if you are a serious Buddhist practitioner, you must develop these four qualities fully. The way you think, the way you say things, the way you do things must come from the loving kindness heart. And Karuna, the enemy of Karuna is violence, hurting. The Pali called Vihingsa, injuring. You see someone suffering, you want to help, you want to relieve them from their own suffering. That's Karuna. The Mudita is envy mind, jealousy mind, conceit, or the technical term is called Mana. I think I'm better than them. I should get promoted, not him. That's the idea of Mudita, the enemy of Mudita. You cannot fully rejoice in your friend's success. And upekha is the wisdom element, is the wisdom factor. Opposite to wisdom is avijja, right, or ignorance. Okay, so let's take a look at the example. At the first slide, I show you. This is from the text, right? The divine abode. The divine abode. Again, this may not benefit us much. How many of us want to reborn in the Brahmin realms? Some yes, some no, right? Long P. Allen. It's up to you. It's up to your wisdom why you want to reborn there. Because no matter how long you live, you're gonna have to come back and reborn again. Brahmin people who born in the Brahmin realm can reborn in hell too. They just have to be able to enjoy their life up there longer than other beings. That's all. So this is the theory, right? This is what the Buddha said according to the text. But how can we put the Brahmavihara into practice today, here and now, on a daily basis? That's my concern. Whether you want to reborn as a Brahman or not, that's your choice. Nothing to do with me. But here, I think this is crucial. Now, whether you are monk or the lay people, you can put into practice right away, this very moment when we learn the Brahmavihara. This is us, right? In the world that we live, we are not alone. There are always people in our life, people that we know, whether you like them or you don't like them, whether they like you or they don't like you. But we are not alone in this world. And there are at least 3 situations that we might be facing or that person might be facing. Let's say this is your friends or people in your life circle. This is the first situation. This is a normal situation. When things go very well, he is healthy, having good life, good family, successful in life, relationships good, family is good, business is good. So we as a friend, we wish him well. Please be well, be success, continue to be success. This is metta. This is how you put the first Dhamma of Brahmavihara into practice. You radiate your loving kindness to the person. This is called metta. or loving kindness. Step number one. And maybe one day things go wrong. His business doesn't go well. His health doesn't go well. His relationship doesn't go well. Now life is in the negative zone. Now metta is not enough. You need karuna or compassion. This is the second situation. Oh, I wish you well, but today you're not doing well. Your friend may be diagnosed with some disease. You may reach out to him and, hey, can I take you to see the doctor? I know this doctor is the best. I'm gonna take you there. You do something to help relieve the pain, the problem out of someone that you care. That's compassion. Don't just sit at home. Oh, I wish you well, and then go back and watch movie. That's not compassion. You don't really care. And in the third situation, when life in the positive zone, the guy may be success, happy, graduate, getting married, have kids. Now you need mudita, right? You need sympathetic joy. You need mudita. Now it's time for you to go, hey, man, happy for you. You deserve it. You're the best. Happy for you. Let's celebrate. Let me take you out for having dinner together. That's how you apply the mudita. What about upekha? When do you need it? When do you need upekha? Upekha mean what? Upekha mean it translates to equanimity, right? Equanimity translates to neutral. How can you become neutral? You see, all of this on this side, metta, loving kindness, karuna, compassion, and mudita, appreciative joy or sympathetic joy. These three factors, they drive by vedana. They are feeling. Human being, we drive by feeling. That's why we love, we feel sympathy. I rejoice in your merit. I want to help when you are suffering. I wish you well when things go as normal. It's purely a feeling. But ubekha is different. Ubekha doesn't drive by feeling. Ubekha drive by wisdom. That's why ubekha translates to equanimity. Ubekha is the guide or the element that control mudita, that control karuna, that control metta, to keep them in balance. If too much metta, you will end up suffering. Too much karuna, you also end up suffering. Too much mudita, you may also end up suffering too. Let's say if a man, your close friend, come to you, maybe he has a problem in his life and he coming back and borrow your money, and you give him the money. You may not have much, but because of metta, you love your friend. Because of karuna, you want to relieve the man from suffering a financial problem. You lend him the money. You lend him the money. Okay, even though you don't have much to give, but you give anyway. And now he went on his life, and next month he come back again. He borrow you another set of money. And now what do? If you give him again, you may run out of money. You and your wife maybe have argument, right? Problem in the family. You need to have that money for the security of the family, for your kid to go to school, for health insurance, car accident when things go wrong, this and that. But you really love that friends. With your loving kindness, with your compassion, you keep giving him the money, and you end up suffering at the end of the day because you don't have enough money for your own family. This is not the way to practice the Dhamma. When you practice the Dhamma, you should not be end up suffering. You know why you do it, and you prepare for the consequence. So ubekha means that you understand that this is how much I can help you. This is how much I can help you. I only have 10 millions. I can only lend you 1 million. The rest is for my business. I cannot give you more than this. So you have to face the challenges on your own. You have to reach out, get help from others too. You cannot rely on one source of income or by coming back to me. If you think like this, that means you understand the problem. You do your best as a good friend. You reach out to help him, and then you develop ubekha using your wisdom to keep the metta and karuna in balance. This is the maximum. This is the best I can do for you at this moment. Otherwise, me and my family will be in trouble. if we keep giving you the money. So ubekha is the wisdom element to control the metta, to control the compassion, to control the mudita. Back to the akati, right? Where if you were the boss, the idea that you promote someone because that person is the person that you love, not the person that you don't like. Even though the person that you don't like may be better than the person that you like, you still promote that person anyway. If you have ubekha, you will have a better judgment. You will be separate. This is personal. This is business. So you would select the qualified person based on your best ability to select that person. You think of the judge, right? If the judge have to make decision to if the guy kills someone and he has to face the death sentences, and the judge feel like, oh, this guy is poor, he has to kill because this and that, so he mix up between his own feeling that, hey, I have sympathy toward this criminal, so instead of the guy have to get this go to jail or get this maximum sentences, he may make different decision because the ubekha or the wisdom element cannot function fully. You see the idea? So ubekha is super important, and almost every teaching of the Buddha, when it comes as a group like this, you always see the wisdom, okay, the wisdom Dhamma that hindered in that particular Dhamma group that the Buddha teach. In this case, in the Brahmavihara, the wisdom element is ubekha. What about the Iddhipada that we learn? Iddhipada, this is the wisdom element. Vimamsa is a wisdom for you to scrutinize, for you to examine, for you to investigate what went wrong and what went well, and then fix it. You don't just love. Love is not always enough to do things, but love and faith is good start. You love and you brave enough when problem come, and then you stay focused, not just quit, and then you check with this. Use wisdom to test, to check. Then you will be free from those problems. You on your way to be success. You see, this is wisdom element that hindered in the Iddhipada. And now we find another wisdom element that hindered in the Brahmavihara, which is again the upekha. In the normal situation, we use metta. I wish you well. Continue to be well. Continue to doing well. In the negative situation, when that person in suffering, in problem, your friends, people that you know, you use compassion or mudita, or karuna. Reach out, help them in a way you can. Maybe people that you know or people that you don't know. If you watch the news, you see there's an earthquake over there, there's a volcano eruption over there. If there is a donation available channel, you make an effort. You may make an effort to make donate. Maybe a little, whatever you seem fit or you comfortable to give. Or if you not comfortable to give, you may send your kind message, to your social media, Facebook, whatever it is, to help relieve the pain from those people that you see. You wish them well, and now I'm reaching out to, in a way I can, to help you to be free from those problems that you are having. And in the positive zone, when someone they are fortunate, they are success, we develop mudita. Okay, go out, celebrate, rejoice in their merit fully. But ubekha also, again, this factor, they control metta, control compassion, and control sympathetic joy. And let me give you another example. This is my before I give you my personal example, this is the most classic example that mentioned in the Buddhist text when it's come to Brahmavihara. You think of metta. Metta is the love of the mother. There's no question about it. The love of mother. They don't expect parents. They don't expect anything in return, right? This is the love of the parents called metta. The mother gave birth to us. She didn't even know that this newborn baby, when he or she grow up, will be a good or bad person. But the love of the parents already love the baby that in her womb already, wholeheartedly. I don't care whether the baby will born handicapped or not. I'm gonna love that baby anyway. This is loving kindness, metta. And as the baby grow up, when we run into trouble in life, when we're not feeling well, when getting ill, parents are suffering. They would find a way to relieve our pain. They take us to the hospital, see the doctor, and when we come back to healthy stage, they are happy, they are joy. This is called karuna. Their heart is trembling, shaking, is moved when they see son are suffering, daughter are suffering. When they see their son and daughter are suffering, they cannot just stay the same. Same. I believe everyone experienced this. Mom cannot just stay at work. She need to come home right away. She need to go to school to find her son right away. If she know that son or daughter is in trouble, right away they will come. And mudita, okay, when son and daughter success, graduation, getting married, have a job, okay, they will be there to rejoice in your success. No doubt about it. And this is what needed. Ubekha, when son get married. Sometimes parent doesn't know how to maintain their roles as a parents. They interfere in the family of their son and daughters. Everyone has our own life, right? When they grow up, they need to have their own family. But when they run into trouble, they may come and seek for your comfort and your help. Otherwise, just let them take care of their family. Let them face the life of their own. This is ubekha. We understand. They cannot be with us forever. They have to, have their own family, own business. They have their own life. And what happened to me, this is something I realized that after study Dhamma for many years, being a teacher myself, being a meditator myself, and when my mom passed, to be honest, I did cry. Not just one time. When I was alone, the tears came. The love from me to my mom is deep. I cannot accept the fact that my mom is no longer with me. I hold that feeling for a very long time. So I cry, I sad, I understand it's the nature of life, but my wisdom is not strong enough to cut off that suffering, that dukkha that I am facing. So metta can be used between mom and dad, between mom and her son, between her son and her mom and his mom. So my metta or loving kindness from between me and my mom very strong. I love her. Karuna, I also find way to comfort her when she in pain in the hospital. I'll be there. I'll be with her until her last breath. So that's the idea of karuna. Mudita, of course, when my mom success this and that, I rejoice in her merit. But ubekha, I cannot do. Ubekha is not easy to do because ubekha is a wisdom element. To be able to accept the reality and move on. To cut off that pain, that grief, that mom cannot be with us forever. Mom cannot be with me forever. It took me a few years for me to feel that I am okay. You see, it's not easy to practice the ubekha, but the Brahmavihara, we need to practice all of them, so we can be happy in life. So don't torture yourself. If you love someone so much, okay, the moment that you start loving someone, the new car, new house, new relationship, keep in mind that that's the same day that you start counting for separation. Separation will come. The car will break down. Relationship may be ended. Your health may be, having problem down the road as well. So this is the truth or the painful truth of realities that one must be prepared. Ubekha is it's good start to learn what it is and how to put them into practice. So the last one for today, it's about the 4 protective meditation. This may be new to many of you. You know about meditation, but when we talk about protective meditation, this something may be new because it's not really, this group of Dhamma is not mentioned together in the Buddhist text. It has been suggested by the King Rama IV, the King of Thailand. It's in the Navakovada book. If you check it out, you will find this Dhamma, the 4 protective meditation. Somehow is in the curriculum of the elementary level of Nakdhamma study. And I see it's very beneficial for us to know what they are. Okay, it's very practical when it comes to the practice of meditation. There are 4 things. The first one is called Buddha Nusati, recollection of the Buddha qualities or the Buddha virtues. Buddha Nusati Bhavana. so Arakkhakammatthana Arakkhakammatthana what is Arakha again Arakha mean protect this one protect and there are two more words Kamma and Thana okay Kamma is action right we usually translate Kamma as action which is correct in this case Kamma mean work or action mean work of what Thana means station interesting that mean the Kammathana mean the station of the work of the mind in this case it's called productive meditation the mind will be working on Buddhanusati or recollect of the Buddha virtue the mind will be working on the metta or the loving kindness meditation the mind will be working on asubha this one asubha or the loathsomeness of the body the mind will be working off the Marananusati or the recollection of the dead so these are the four Arakha Kammathana or the four protective meditation so let's get to know each one of them you see the word bhavana again here bhavana means to grow to develop you grow you develop the Buddhanusati there is a word sati here or the mindfulness as well okay so I will start from the first one Buddhanusati Buddha is the Buddha right sati mean mindfulness that means this meditation use the technique of recollect sati mean recollect remember right that's the meaning of sati now you recall what recall the virtue or the qualities of the Buddha in your meditation practice this is what we chant when we chant Iddhipada this is the Buddha qualities that mentioned in the chanting of Iddhipada Bhagava Arahang Samma Sambuddho Vichacharana Sampanno Sukhato Loka Vitu Anuttaro Purisatthama Sarati Sattha Tevanusanam Buddho Bhagava Ti okay what does it mean there are 9 qualities of the Buddha mentioned in that teaching in that chanting the first Buddha is an Arahant now you get to the new term again second the Buddha is Samma Sambuddho the third Vichacharana Sampanno the fourth Sukhato the fifth Lokavitun right the sixth Anuttaro Purisatthama Sarati the seventh Sattha Deva Manusanam the eighth Buddho and the ninth the Bhagava Arahant mean what Arahant mean that anybody who achieved the Arahantship that means that mind of that person is completely or totally free from defilements from greed hatred delusion that's the idea of Arahant how many Arahant in this world that you know that is why the Buddha is worth respect is worth worshipping because he is a pure man he's a holy man totally free from defilements this is just the first qualities so when we think of the Buddha we feel safe we feel secure we feel faithful because the Buddha is a noble man and he is a noble being he's supreme right Samma Sambuddho he's a self perfect enlightenment by himself no one teach him how to achieve enlightenment and that means that person is super smart right to be able to see that life is suffering to be able to discover the cause of suffering and to be able to remove the root cause of suffering from his own life and share with others Vichacharana Sampanno Vicha mean knowledge Charana mean conduct Sampanno mean well right so perfect in true knowledge and conduct the knowledge of noble truth the knowledge of the eightfold path Sukhato mean well traveler he went well where did he go right he went to what realize the Nibbana the noble eightfold path walk down the noble eightfold path Lokavitun the knower of the worlds okay there are worlds not just one world not just human world the life before we exist there is life after death there's human realm the heavenly realm there's hell realm there's all kind of world out there the Buddha know them all that's why he is called Lokavitu Anuttaro Purisatthama Sarati incomparable trainer of a person to be tamed Sarati mean trainer this one Sarati mean trainer teacher who can train anybody if he wants to train if that person is ready to be trained I just talked to the new monk the other days ago that when you are enter the monastic training in many sutra that the Buddha gives the monastic training to the new monk, if you read not carefully reading, you may not find this prerequisite. But if you slowly read, you may notice that the first one, the prerequisite for a man to be trained by the Buddha said that person must be ready to be trained. Then I will train him like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That implies that if you are not ready to be trained, the Buddha will not train. The Buddha will not train you. He will put you in queue or in line. When you're ready, you come back. When you're ready, you come and ordain. If you're not ready, you don't have to come and become a monk. Stay wherever you want to be and do whatever you want to do. If you're not ready for 200 rules, 200 precepts, if you're not ready to wake up 4:30, you shouldn't be coming to be a monk. That's the idea of the prerequisite. So Sattha Teva Manusanang, supreme teacher for all divines and humans. The Buddha, he fully awakened to the Four Noble Truths, right? The path that leads to the end of suffering. And Bhagawa, he is the blessed one, which means he is the highest for all beings in this cycle of existence. So by reflect on the quality of the Buddha, it gives us joy, it gives us faith, it gives us the sense of securities. When I meditate alone in the forest, and when I think of the Buddha, I feel comfort, I feel safe, I feel protected. And there are many teachings in the text that the Buddha said, when you are alone in the wood, no one's around, think of me, I will comfort you. Because you are a student of the Buddha, right? So when you feel like the Buddha is nearby, you feel safe. And another thing, when you meditate on the Buddha, this is sometimes I feel very useful. You think of human mind. Human mind can think of one thing at a time. If you are sad, you cannot be happy. If you are happy, you cannot be sad. If you get angry, you cannot be joy. Good and bad, in and out all the time, moment to moment. So most of the day, we usually think of something quite negative toward the world around us. That's the nature of human mind. It like to think that way. When you have the Buddha in your mind, then the mind will be shy to do something bad. When the Buddha sit into your mind, then there is no chair left for the Mara to sit, to force you to do the bad thing. So if you feeling down, feeling sad, feeling worried, you just have allow the Buddha, welcome the Buddha to sit into your mind. Then there's no room for sadness, no room for worriness. Just have the Buddha sit there for a little while, then you may see the result, see the solution. That's the beauty of the Buddha Nusati, or the meditation on the recollection of the quality of the Buddha. The second one is called Metta. We talked about Metta earlier. When we meditate on Metta, the benefit of you meditate on Metta is help soften your mind. Angry cannot come if you share loving kindness. If you really can share loving kindness, angriness will be fade away. Resentment will be fading away. Just as a mother at the risk of life, love and protect her child, her only child. So one should cultivate this boundless love to all life in the whole universe. You see, it's not easy to do this. People talk about metta all the time, but whether one can do it or not, that's another story. You may understand it, but you may not be able to do it because it's hard. It's hard to love someone that you don't like. It's hard to forgive a man or a person that hurt your feeling, right? But as you are a Dhamma student, that's the goal, to be able to achieve one day, to be able to forgive, to be able to be at peace towards someone you love, towards someone you don't love, towards people that you hate, people that you like. Okay, your mind should be unshakable mind. Searching all direction with your awareness. You search all direction. You find no one dearer than yourself. In the same way, others, people around you are the same. They dear to themselves too. So you shouldn't hurt others if you love yourself. This is the idea of metta. We love ourselves the most. We don't want to be hurt. We don't want to be harmed. We don't want anybody to harm our life, to harm our possession, to harm our people in our families. Same thing with others. Same thing with animals. They don't like to be hurt. They don't like to be harmed. If you love yourself, you don't harm others. That's the idea of metta. And when we practice metta bhavana or meditation on metta, your mind will be very soft, very gentle. You can smile on yourself all day long because your mind is at peace. There's no enemy in the mind. And the third one is called asubha. This one may not familiar. You may not familiar with it, and you may not like it. Some people may not like it. To meditate on the 32 part of the body. If you are a monk, when you ordain, this is the meditation object that the preceptor will give you. It's a requirement. It's a mandatory meditation object that every preceptor must give to the newly ordained monk. You would say Kesa, Loma, นาขาทันตาตะโจทันตานาขาโลมาเกสาเรสาโลมานัตขาทันตาตะโจ you say this back and forth. That means he give you the meditation. This is a tool to protect you when lust come to your mind. You just ordain, right? From a layman to be a monk, from having family to have no one, stay in the wood by yourself, and your mind may be everywhere. So when lust come, the preceptor said, you use this tool to meditate on your body hair, your head hair, your nail, your teeth, and your skin. As you reflect on this, you will see that the body is ugly, is loathsome, and then lust will fade away. Then you can come back and stay concentrated. That's the idea of asubha. And you can think of something else too. There are 32 of them. So inside the beautiful skin, nothing is clean, nothing is beauty as it appears from the outside. They're all ugly inside. This one we learned already, right? We learned the law of nature, the three common characteristics of all things. We learned the anicca, right? Dukkha and anatta. Anicca means impermanent. We can everything change moment to moment. And dukkha is the idea of uncontrollable, unsustainable. It cannot stay like this forever. It has to change, and nothing you can do about it. It's out of your control. That's why it's called non-self or anatta, anicca, dukkha, anatta. And whether you like it or not, you have to accept it. Otherwise, you will be suffering because you fight with the law of nature, which you cannot fight. You cannot win. The nature is bigger than us, bigger than everyone else. We may prolong this process, but we cannot stop this process from happening. That's why you should practice the Arakkhakammatthana. And the last one is called Morananusati. Morana means death, right? Sati is again as a recollection. So mindfulness of death. If you think of death, what happened? To be honest to yourself, at the end of the day, if you think of, oh, I may not wake up tomorrow, how do you feel? Get worried about the future, life after death. Morananusati, this is one of the meditation, one of the 40 meditation subject that mentioned in the Visuddhimagga that people use in the past. It may be successful for some practitioner. It may not success for some practitioner as well. So you don't have to use it, but you know it's available. Sometimes it's very helpful when we think of death. In one teaching in Morananusati Sutta, the first Morananusati Sutra in the Anguttara Nikaya, the Buddha said, this is how the Buddha teach the monk that how one should be mindful about death. You may think that you practice correctly. Let's verify this together from this teaching. At the end, the Buddha said, this is how we should develop mindfulness of death. Okay, before we get to this, let's start from the first line. Whoever develop mindfulness of death, thinking like this, oh, I might live for the interval that it takes to swallow a having chew up of one's mouthful. That means mouthful of food. When you take the food, that's time that you're taking the food, one mouthful of spoonful. You might live that long. So people may think that I can live 75 years, 100 years. That careless thinking. But the Buddha teach differently. For the interval or for the time it takes to breathe in after breathe out, or to breathe out after breathing in. That's how long a man can live. If you breathe in and don't breathe out, you die. If you breathe out and don't breathe in, if we do that, we die. That's how long we can live. That I might attend the Blessed One instruction. This is the instruction of the Buddha. To remind ourselves that's how long can we live. So I would have accomplished the great deal. They are said to dwell heedfully. Okay, this is how you practice heedfulness. They develop mindfulness of death acutely for the sake of ending defilements. The first teaching of the Buddha about Morananusati or about death. There are several teachings that related or relevant to this as well. So feel free to check it out. If you type in the Morananusati Sutra, you may find several of them. And that's how long can we live, okay? It's only breathe in and breathe out, not that long. So this is a summarize. To summarize, the four protective meditation or Arakha Arakkhakammatthana that you can put into practice from time to time. Buddhanusati, okay, this one bring you joy, bring you comfort, right? Let go all the fear, strengthen your faith when you think of the Buddha. Have the Buddha sit in your mind, then there's no seat left for the Mara to sit in your mind to do bad. If you know that the Buddha inside you or stand behind you, would you do something bad? Would you say something bad? You just feel like it's not right, right? Because he's there. But if he's not there, then maybe I do it. Okay. So the second thing is the metta bhavana. So I usually do this before meditate, and at the end of meditation, do it 2 times, and again before going to bed. This is my habit. We have nothing to lose when we develop metta. It's always benefit us. It softens the mind. It's let the mind free from worry, and then we can meditate a lot better. And then Morananusati or Asubha first. The third one is Asubha. Sometimes when the mind have lust, okay, or greed or want to think of lust, think of woman, this and that, think of the ugliness of the body will help us to overcome that lustful mind, and the mind can come back to the calm state, and then we continue to meditate. You can combine this technique together. Okay, maybe start from metta first, and then Buddhanusati, think of the Buddha, and then think of the visualization or the mantra, whatever you feel comfortable. Okay, you don't have to stick with one technique all the time. And then the last one, Morananusati. This one to me it's good, right? At the end of the day, nobody knows when we go to bed tonight. No one can guarantee that we will be waking up tomorrow. No one knows. So it's not worth it to sleep with an unhappy mind, to sleep with hated mind, to sleep with revenge. Tomorrow I'm gonna wake up, I'm gonna go find that person, I'm gonna hurt him. It's not worth it. What if you don't wake up, right? You deserve to sleep happily and wake up happily. So it's about you be able to let go, you be able to forgive, and you be able to forget, because no matter how much you hate that person, no matter how much you love that person, we die anyway. The question is when. We just don't know when, but we all die anyway. So there's no point to hold that resentment or regret to a revenge towards people around us, people in our life. Okay, so develop loving kindness, develop karuna, compassion, develop mudita, truly rejoice in someone's success, and please make sure you develop upekkha too. Don't just metta. Metta is a good start, but metta can drag you to hell. Okay, if you feel like, oh, my friend is having a problem, he needs money, so maybe I help him rob the bank. So you go help him rob the bank. Where do you guys go after robbing the bank, right? It doesn't do any good for anybody. So metta is not just that. I wish you well and I help you rob the bank. This is not karuna. This is wrong practice. You need to develop panya or ubekkha so you can be success in the cycle of this Iddhipada or the Brahmavihara. And today we also add on to the idea of Arakkhakammatthana, the 3 Dhamma that we learned today. So make sure you put them into practice. Go back and relearn as well. There are many new vocabulary that we learned today. So I will send this file to the group. Make sure you download it and relearn on your own pace. And also these are some of the recommended sutra or reference that I use. So feel free to check them out if you have time. Okay, so with that, we should be okay for today lecture. Any question, suggestion, comments? Should be easy, right, today? I believe all of these Dhamma, you're familiar with them already. Okay, so rejoice in everyone's merit in learning Dhamma together today. Okay. Sadhu, please have a good Sunday. Enjoy the rest of the afternoon. See everyone again next Sunday.